Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the Museum of the African Diaspora. My name is Nia McAllister, and I'm the Senior Public Programs Manager here at the museum. And I'm so thrilled that all of you are here for our culminating reading for the Community Voices Poet Speak series. This is a series we've been hosting at the museum since 2017, where we invite poets into the galleries to view the current exhibitions on view and then respond with ekphrastic poetry inspired by the visual art that is on view. And this year, we're super fortunate to be in partnership with Youth Speaks, an incredible organization here in San Francisco supporting so many youth voices in the community. And we've co-curated the 8 readers who will be performing this evening and who have been participating in this series over the last 4 weeks. So I want to say a really special thank you to the team at Youth Speaks for embarking on this journey, for agreeing to co-present this program with us. It's been really lovely to expand our audiences, bring in new voices to the space, and also bring in your eye and your vision for how to support youth voices again here locally. So the exhibitions that are on view that the poets have responded to are the new Black Vanguard, photography between art and fashion, which is on view in the gallery behind you, as well as up on our 3rd floor. That is curated by Antoine Sargent. And the room that you are in is our Emerging Artists Salon, and we have the work and the photography of Ashley Ross, her exhibition entitled 102703. And so the poets over the last several weeks have been spending time in the galleries, writing poetry, being inspired by the themes, the colors, the ideas that are here represented on the walls of the museum, and have put their words to that and brought them to life. And so I'm so excited for all of you to experience what these poets have been working on and to hear their voices. And so to begin, I actually want to invite up 2 of our partners with Youth Speaks to kick it off with a few words and a poem or so. So with that, I would like to introduce Gabriel Cortez, who is a Black biracial poet, educator, and organizer of Panamanian descent. His work has appeared in the New York Times, National Public Radio, The Rumpus, and the Breakbeat Poets Anthology Volume 4. Gabriel works as program director at Youth Speaks, one of the world's leading presenters of spoken word performance, education, and youth development programs. And Aleja Bradshaw, known performatively as Knife, is a 26-year-old performing artist, writer, and educator, and they have a passion for poetry and hip-hop, but are endlessly curious about all the tools of liberation and creative expression. Welcome both.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. Also, thank you everyone for being here. I'm super excited to be a part of this. Something that's always been really, really impactful for me is the way that Black people can translate their art, can translate their pain, can translate their joy, everything through the things that they make, right? So being able to see it, being able to feel it in my body and be inspired by it is something that I will carry with me for a very long time. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Do you want to read first? Or do you read first?
Let me open up for Aleja Bradshaw real quick. Hold on. Y'all, you can hear me say yay. Yay. You can hear me say y'all. Y'all. Turn to a neighbor, tell me made it. Turn to another neighbor, tell them I see you. And can we please snap it up for Nia and the MoAD for real, for inviting us into this space. Deep bows of appreciation for just the space that's constantly made here for just local artists, of course the whole diaspora of artists, and for us to be in conversation with them. A little word about Youth Speaks. If there's any young folks in this space, 13 to 19, especially from out here in San Francisco, we are looking for you. So I'm glad you're in the space with us. We got a lot of free programs that you can tap into right now. Just go to youthspeaks.org. Everyone should see a little flyer on your seats. Maybe reach under your butt, grab it. But you can get tickets to our shows that are coming up. Team Poetry Slam Finals, all that good stuff. And if you're in San Francisco, you can get $300 for coming to 8 sessions of our after school workshop, which happens on Wednesday. So hit up youthspeaks.org, get that info, and hope to get to see y'all again. Cool if I perform a poem for y'all? Okay, tight, right on. Come, let us greet each other in the flights of our era. Let us heel-toe, wobble, boogie, twist, and slide electric to a song we might not know all the words to, but still pranced or proud inside of, determined to stunt. Consecrated in the cleanest white tees, a $10 bill might sweet talk across our elbows with styles salvaged from our parents' closets, which the radio croons fly again. For the nights our lonely wanted to return us cooler than the chain net splash at the end of a tide game. Or was it the grasses, wilding between unfenced yards until sneakers stomped them in the turf? where we first learned to humble ourselves, raised by the gust of another boy's heave, where the sound of getting cracked still fractures the air. And when there was no field, we ran the streets, that hopeless court, shattered glass in the oil slick, where we measured our speed in local topography, knees set, snapped behind a stick, starting line set, singing past the trees, the stoop, the stop sign, the crowd of us placing bets at the end of the block. And when there was no street, when the only place we accumulated was in the fold of our uncle's hands, or whoever first taught us to give that, it was a lexicon of fingers, a house raised and fell within the span of our address, the slang of our palms. Old bus stop, old lunch table, old barber shop, movie theater where we weaved conspiracies of first kisses that never came to pass. Old roller skating rink of the unrequited heart, old Kool-Aid stained carpet, old basement lingering funk, old group text, message board, status update, unfurling into scroll. If we circled there long enough, then it is ours. Come, let us reach for each other and fail. Let us stumble over the tongue's redlined geography tangled in the ornate coils of each other's hair. Let us gather like gangs do, or a choir, or a garden, a hall of mirrors, a flock of birds blackening the sky, wearing no other's names but our own. Thank you.
Okay, this poem is called The Look. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I am asking America to look away from me. Avert the gaze. Let the pupil swallow the white of your own eye, looking for the light in me. I hope you never find it. Stumble around, colorblind in the vast space, arms outstretched to feel around in the dark, but never quite grasp it in your hands. I am black as the space between your fingers. I always slip through. I settle into anywhere that I fit. The pitch black pit of the stomach, back of the throat, black hole eater of imagination, and spitting it back out again. To see me is to know my power. So look away. Misunderstand me into a mortal if it means you treat me less like you treat your gods, like shallow love above a deep fear, like a validator of struggle and a farmer of faith from barren land only, like the sun, like I could birth a body from dust and burn it back to ash whenever I'm good and ready. Disbelieve me from your universe altogether. But watch the orbit tip, though. Blame the turning on me if it gives you your name. I have a different legacy. I come from a different prefix. If beauty can be listed, if beauty can be yearned after, purchased and sold like a product, I know there are other things to be. In fact, ugly me back into a person. Bite off the acrylic so I can fight and I can feel. I am 7 and I sweat out my silk press playing a made-up game. Say my words are unreal language. Say my words are baby babble. I am 17 and at prom in a dress that my mother and I sewed last night with scraps. I unglue my lash to dance better. Unsee me if you cannot see the sweet in my sweat. If the root unraveling makes me an ingrown flower, let me live here in the brown dirt. If I am a blood stain and not beautiful pattern dye, wash me from your hands then. If the seat is not for me, shorten the table or fill it with someone else. Uninvite me to the party and maybe you will notice it is a grease fire. No tear can put it out. If beauty is in the eye, what is in my mouth that demands recognition? What is in my chest that is digging itself out? Ask a better question, and the answer might still be beautiful. Like, what is the sky? Beautiful. What is a body? Beautiful. What is ugly but a collection of beautiful things I cannot see? And how elusive of them. How playful. To know what it is to be visible. To know what it is to forsake visibility and come out of it even more alive. How grandiose to deny the tiny organ its sugar. Could this not be a feat of athleticism? Do we not deny and define our humanity through discipline, through challenge, through resistance? How easy is it to be fashionable? How easy is it to be pretty and worthy of your own existence to some collective face looking down? But ask a better question. Whose face is it? Whose eye?
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? Yeah, it's such an honor to be a part of this project. A little background, I've been writing for way too long. And after a while, you stop churning out poems once a week. And it becomes once a month. It becomes once a year. It becomes once a decade.
Wow.
And I was in the biggest writing funk that I had ever been in before I was invited onto this project. And I started writing again. And not just, I mean, I was always writing, but I started writing things that I could be proud of again. And I think it was because I could see things that I could be proud to write about. Just being surrounded by all of these examples of what it means to be Black and beautiful, and redefining beauty and not restricting beauty to all of these very trivial things, and recognizing that like the standard of beauty is a white supremacist standard, and anything that breaks that standard is way more important than these, like just the pursuit of beauty. So one of the things that I loved about these exhibits is the use of color, especially bright colors, because growing up I was always told bright colors don't look good on Black folks. So this poem is called "Whoever Said Bright Colors Ain't for Niggas Got Fightin'." Am I supposed to be earth tone dull, black and white boring? Does all the color ink itself out of my blood when this country splits me open? The shade of my skin limited to whatever colors my pain. Cerulean grief, vermilion rage, verdant envy, ashen indifference to all the yellow hot fire licking its way across the char of my body. Like, did we not burn the city bright red when they killed that boy last year? Did I not kiss a nigga pink 3 summers ago? Did the world not turn to gold every time my mother laughed? My grandmother's smile and silver teeth yellowing in the back of her mouth when she smothered my young face in Vaseline each morning. Was I not both bright and colored? My body imaginable in any shape. And have you ever seen a body become all the light it absorbs, only to spit it back out on the runways we built out of closets and wardrobes we were never intended to have access to? Color is not our enemy. It is both our birthright and our legacy. It is passed down from generation to generation, and I inherited rainbow hands snatching at all the light, catching colors and calling them mine. And is that not bold? Is that not Black? Is that not beautiful? And this last poem that I'll leave you off with, a lot of what I realized about fashion, my personal connection to fashion, especially looking at these exhibits, is how much of it is connected to breaking and bending and redefining what gender looks like for the Black body. I was having a conversation with another Black non-binary friend of mine, and we realized that from birth, we were never given like the standard like version of like masculinity and femininity. Everyone in our families held multiple roles. And we realized that Black in and of itself is non-binary. There's no, gender is so much more fluid than we acknowledge and that we accept, even within ourselves. And so this poem was inspired by kind of the gender conversations that kept coming up when experiencing these exhibits. Boy between legs, wish girl, wish new hope, boy dies and returns stolen girl. My chest, my laugh, still stuck between legs, keep closed, thigh crossed over thigh, hide boy to become girl and never home on the weekends, called girl once in a club and was killed for it. Resurrected myself afterwards to be boy again, safe again, home again, and still not in the body I want. I mistook a bottle for a gender, and now I'm the wrong kind of DD. Drunk and dysphoric. Brought my friends home safely, then vomited up the girl I choked down when a man asked what was between closed legs. Thigh over thigh. Hide boy to become safe. Boyhood died the moment that I realized that everything I am was defined for me. Masculinity beaten into me until rejection, revulsion, repentance. Once I was young and I saw so many futures. Now all end in the same flash of red, and what does it even mean to constrain infinite possibility? Black boy becomes formless and then wonders if he is still black boy. Who am I without the manhood I was born into? When womanhood is both desired and unattainable, my body becomes a rebellion and a display of the gender that slips through my fingers. Girl, trick of the light, trap of my own making, unmaking gender and unraveling hope into possibility. Hope gender becomes fluid, flows like water, moves like air, malleable but cannot be compressed, cannot be contained, cannot fit in a box smaller than its magnitude. Spirit becomes body and then becomes love. A mirror I can see myself in. I see myself reflected in so many faces that do not belong to me, but God, I wish that they do. I wish that her smile, his teeth, their eyes could become mine. I wish I could mask myself into a girlhood that felt safe. Out of boyhood that holds knives against its own skin, I want to crawl out of his skin and into hers, theirs, my own, my body, not rebellion, but homecoming, transcending expectations, ungendering my future. Uncrossed legs and manhood still hangs heavy between my thighs, and still girl, and still not, and still here, and still me, alive. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Myra Estrada and I am one of the poets here for the Community Voices event. I am currently a senior at Oakland High School. In regards to poetry, I am on the Youth Speaks Advisory Board as well as a member of the Oakland Youth Poet Laureate program. I'll be reciting a few pieces dedicated to the art around us with no particular image in mind, but the embodiment of Black culture as a whole, both the pleasure of being brown and the pain brought upon us and the pain we brought upon ourselves. All my poems may touch on subjects such as death and other matters, a contrast to the Black utopia we see before us here at the Museum of African Diaspora. Each piece touches on a different segment of our multifaceted culture, both depicting the pain and pleasure in an eye-pleasing way, proving the undeniable truth that Black is beautiful. I'll be reciting one piece that I made pretty recently after hearing a current event. Like others have stated, I've been in a real bad writing rut, so I've just been writing what I feel, and I think this is basically what I feel, and it's a call to my own people, but also a call for others to listen. So it is titled "A Brown Boy is a Gun." All skin folk and kinfolk, drown our streets in our own blood. This bloody concrete holds generations of gang affiliation, of a brown massacre. They put us in this stance, built this weapon, handed us this gun, encased us in metal handcuffs, filled these bullets with lead. We die off as fast as empty shells hit the pavement, made us a threat to American society. We protest and riot, try to heal ourselves in melanin love, remind ourselves that we are worthy of every shuddered breath, but still breaths from our own brothers, cheat on our sisters, call us ugly for our God-given bodies, too many curves all in the wrong places, make us feel undeserving of love, tell us that we are not enough. Why must we hurt each other? Every year we mourn the deaths of Black boys in front of the gun, idolize our youthful brown brothers, praise them in their highest glories, from Emmett Till to Trayvon Martin, keep their legacy with pride, and yet we don't even remember our sisters' names, like Alana Sims and Tamara King, bringing pain and sorrow to another mother's eyes. How many vigils by the candlelight are we going to hold until we realize it ain't us? Raped and robbed by white America. If we do the dirty work for them, the pigs won't have to kill us. Mad at America for killing our brothers until the blood spills on our own hands. Tyree Nichols dead at 29, beaten by brothers who have been beaten down. We are so beautiful, yet only some realize it until they compare us to the condolence flower bouquets made up inside of a mother's house. How many of our brothers are we going to lose until we deem it too many to count? We're too busy being moved like pawns to remember our crowns. It's a game of chess, and yet we've lost another round. Thank you.
I'm Sahara, and I get tired in my sleep, which could honestly be considered a skill. In fact, I spent my evening confined to an empty metallic solitude somewhere along the French coast, and in that way my dreams are so helplessly indelible. I taste mac and cheese when I smell gas, and smell rain when I taste smoke. Just yet another strength. Though the creases in my ceiling have lethargically transferred to the center of my forehead without much consideration for my sense of ease. I've smeared curdled milk around my lips, I've pasted boulders beneath my eyes, and sewn my aorta around my wrists in search of a validation that no one is worthy of offering. Take me. Who else if not I has earned your ridicule? Who if not the hopelessly lazy romantic would waste their imagination on your blatant disfigurement? Do I not deserve some recognition? An iota of care? A touch to exacerbate my paralysis? I have an army of capabilities, but without your acknowledgement, have they any power? I am the epitome of the George Berkeley philosophy that everyone vaguely remembers, and I'd like to think that said philosophy is what clouds my right to preservation. I have unintentionally abused my senses. I have taken advantage of my own intelligence, but I assure you that I am the first of an archetype to impressively do so. And without your fascination, could the archetype even exist? Would the tree still sound? Thank you.
I was 2 years old. My granny used to sew. She made quilts for my bed, dresses for my dolls, taught me that white sheets weren't just for Klansmen, but for wrapping warmth. Oh, how my little hands worked in tandem with hers. Now I'm 22 and she can't think like I do. When she sews, the blankets don't fit the bed anymore. The dolls don't have dresses. She tells me stories of family back south with the last needle she could find on the last thread of hope on her spool of slowly undone thought. Kinfolk cut from the same cloth. I saw earth tones, elegance incarnate, because only brown skin could be so rich. It could afford to take poverty and turn it into progress. It takes passion, poise, and purpose, how ancestors took stars and patchworked them into pathfinders. These are the principles in which my people found purpose. But see, Granny kept forgetting her needles, and when forgetting needles became a pastime, I still made sure Granny was dressed in the best. So now my hands are hers, sewing the principles in the fabric left behind. Painting my jeans, hoping that she'd be proud if she knew I still loved her quotes and still had time to make my own.
Tonight wanted what tomorrow couldn't have. Tomorrow wanted what today couldn't have. Sleep with dissatisfaction, wake up a madman. I wonder how long the trials last. I step outside, the music crowds me. Somehow the fear of ending found me. Not good at goodbyes, my heart sees my life slowly disappear. It reminds me time is not on our side. Vanish in the distance, take cement and cover your face in asphalt. Remembrance, maybe one day if I'm lucky enough, I'll never be forgotten. Truth be told, I kinda don't care. This is the point where darkness ensues. If you wanna torture a man, feed his loneliness, imprison his soul, hijack his mind and he forgets who he is. You drain his spirit now. A vessel with no purpose lives. What's to come from this? A mind disturbed, it wanders. Fixated on the 8th dimension. Tell me why exactly is my mind so gone? My behavior patterns, I still ain't pick up my phone. I'm on a freight train to nowhere. A mind frame built for detention. Remember to live with attention. I think about diving into the dark too often. What fool would willingly walk into the fire if he hasn't? What fool would willingly walk into the fire if he wasn't used to it already? Deviation, a skill or a curse or a crash course in navigation. Adapt to survive the darker hours. Around these parts, your heart could get devoured. Plug me up to a stereo and never wake me up from reality. Leave me in a dream world and challenge my sanity. A testimony written from the tears of a struggling mother, a lost child, not tethered to the now. If I didn't know any better, I'd say assassination happened on the playground.
Y'all. What's up? Okay. Jeez, y'all got me feeling nervous up here. All right. What's up? My name is Niambi. The first poem I'm gonna do is called "An Ode to the Weekend" by SZA. I'm doing this poem because there's a picture out there of this girl like smoking a cigarette and like having her mouth open. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. But it also reminds me of like the nature of, I don't know why, being a side chick. The beautiful nature of being a side chick. So, this is inspired by that and inspired by the weekend. So, sat by window. I promised to never write tree poems. Trees green with envy, the only thing pushed by wind. Sissa makes sonnets for side chicks. For the trees, blown by the leftover wind, my body is much like a tree. Brown and green at the head, structured to be shined upon, tree energy. As in, you'll always be walking beneath me. As in, there's already so many poems written about me. As in, I am what keeps you breathing. As in, long genderless grace, like, why do you keep putting me down? Because you want something plain, lifeless, flat, white. Okay, that's that one. That's one. Okay, anyways.
Trying to capture with words, but obviously they did it so much better. And so I have a little snapshot cento. In it, for those of you who don't know, a cento is a poem collected of lines from different poems. And in this cento, the lines used are from my own, but it is from performance pieces that I've done ever since I was a teenager. And it's kind of really bringing it full circle with poetry before I read these poems that were totally inspired by this beautiful exhibit. My skin is not a grave I'm standing in. Motherland, a place I spent 20 years searching for and 19 of them draining her. At night, shoes were shined with cod liver oil. One thumb licked, rubbed the scuffs to shadows. Black boys drawled in groups to windows, calling their lovers in sing-song and gin. The new Negro don't take no jazz, don't talk no jazz. These new Negroes don't know nothing about jazz. The new Negro improvises on the color line. These new Negroes talking about their colorblind. The new Negro revises the text of their skin. Langston, they must not have known what color he was writing in because they got you in history book like you was dead in the way that they write. They got me thinking I'm dead. Now how can I be dead if my word's still living? Mama, I know that you are a descendant of the blues women who got on stage and prayed out loud before any man found song at the crossroads. You blues women sing yourselves into the stage. You blues the day like dancers clearing a room.
And I want to thank all of our poets and actually invite all of you to come back up here. I just want to thank all of you for being a part of this 5-week series, Community Voices. It's incredible because each poet has a chance to come in, have an individual week to share and reflect the poems, and then come together for this group reading. So I want to thank all of you for your work throughout the last 5 weeks, and also since we connected in the fall to come in and explore the exhibitions, to write and respond. Each of you have brought your own perspective, your own views, and what you've seen and taken from this exhibition. So I want to thank you all so much for being a part of this.